I welcome you all for today's video lecture on labor cost variance. In my previous lecture, I explained you how to calculate material cost variance and their various components of material cost variance. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss how to calculate the labor cost variance and their components. Here, labor cost variance is classified into two categories: labor rate variance (LRV) and labor efficiency variance. And we can also simultaneously prove that labor cost variance is equal to labor rate variance plus labor efficiency variance. Then labor efficiency variance is further classified into labor idle time variance, labor yield variance and labor mix variance. So again we can prove this. Labor yield variance is equal to labor efficiency variance equal to labor idle time variance plus labor yield variance plus labor mix variance. So there are formulas are available. To calculate the labor cost variance, we use this formula: standard time into standard rate minus actual time minus actual rate. Then labor rate variance: actual time into standard rate minus actual rate. Labor efficiency variance: standard rate into standard time minus actual time. Labor idle time variance: standard rate into actual time minus actual time worked. Labor yield variance is equal to standard rate into standard time minus revised standard time. Labor mix variance equal to standard rate into standard time minus actual time. So let us start with a predefined sum. The following was the composition of gang of workers in a factory during a particular month in one of the production departments. The standard composition of workers and wage rate per hour were as below: skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, unskilled labor. Three categories of workers are available in this factory, and this is the standard information given. Two for the skilled labor, two workers at a standard rate of 20 rupees per hour. For semi-skilled labor, standard rates: four workers at a standard rate of 12 rupees per hour. Unskilled labor, four workers at a standard rate of 8 rupees per hour each. The standard output of the gang was 4 units per hour of the product. During the month in question, however, the actual composition of the gang and hourly rate paid were as under. This is the actual information. So similarly, type of workers: skilled labor, semi-skilled, unskilled labor is also given clearly. The gang was engaged for 200 hours during the month, which included 12 hours when no production was possible due to the machine breakdown. So this is called as idle time. The total hours in a month 200 hours, but whereas due to the machine breakdown, there was a 12 hours of idle time occurred. So here we need to calculate the actual time hours worked. So 810 units of the product were recorded as output of the gang during the month. So the total output for the actual data is 810 units. So you are required to calculate the total labor cost and also analyze the variance and also above sub-variances. So for this sum, first of all we need to design a solution. So we need to convert this problem in a structured way. So So let us take a table which I have designed here. So we need to arrange this data in a structured way. So in this table, so there are three categories of employees given here in this table. This is the sum we are arranging in the structured way. Skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, unskilled labor. In the first column, we have taken rate, so standard rate and actual rate given the sum. So according to the sum, we need to design this in the proper sequence. So if you look at the sum, the standard rate values in the beginning of the sum given, two workers at a standard rate of 20 rupees per hour. That information we need to record in this columns. Here we'll take actual rate. Here we'll take standard rate. Yeah. So according to the sum, the standard rates given in the sum, 20 rupees for skilled labor, semi-skilled 12 rupees, and unskilled labor it is 18 rupees. So we'll take 20 rupees. Sorry. Standard rate 20 rupees, 12 rupees, and 8 rupees. Similarly, the actual rate given in the sum. These are the actual rates: 20 rupees, 14 rupees, 10 rupees. So 20 rupees, 14 rupees, and 10 rupees. So this is about rates, and this is actual time. This is actual time worked. This is standard time, and this is about revised standard time. So here I'll explain how to calculate the actual time. So if you look at the sum, the gang was engaged for 200 hours. The 200 hours, the entire in the production department in a month they spent 200 hours. So, so actual time can be calculated using of this formula. Total number of workers in each set of employee, each set of skill of labor, that is skilled labor or semi-skilled labor or unskilled labor, is multiplied with 200 hours, which is given the sum. The actual time, actual hours, like the total number of workers in the actual data for semi-skilled 2, for semi-skilled 3 workers, for unskilled 5 workers. So 2, 3, 5. So 2 into 200, 3 into 200, 5 into 200. So semi-skilled total number of workers are 2. The total number of like 200 hours is multiplied with this. Will get actual time. That is 400 hours. This is 400 hours. 400 hours. Similarly, 600 hours, 1000 hours. So the total value 2000 hours. Now coming to actual time worked, how to calculate the actual time worked? Because in this sum, the total number of hours is 200 hours in a month minus the idle time is given in the sum 12 hours due to the machine break. So the actual time worked by each labor is 188 hours, right? So again here we use the same method to find out this, how we calculated in the actual data 2 labors, 3 labors, 5 labors. Similarly here also we will take 2 labors, 3 labors, 5 like workers, 2 workers, 3 workers, 5 workers. So 2 into 188 hours, similar, same method, but we have subtracted the idle time. So 2 into 188, where we are getting 2 into 188, we are getting 376, so exactly 376. Hours and 564 hours and 940 hours. So the total value, if you are totaling it, 6, 4, 10 and 5, 6, 11, 18, 10, 15, 18. So here the answer is 1880 hours. This is 2000 hours. This is 1088 hours. So coming to the standard time, the standard time here, the standard time and actual data, the actual data is not same because there is no uniformity in that. Because if you look at this sum, the standard output of the gang was 4 units per hour, whereas actual output is 810 units. So we need to convert the standard data according to the actual output. Then only we can apply the formula. So let us convert this according to actual data. So the standard units, like um, according to the standard, we know that 2 workers used, 3 workers were used, 5 workers used. So for 4, like we can say that for 4 units in the standard, 2 workers are used, right? So in order to produce 810 units, 810 units actual units produced. So how many number of labors to be used, right? So 810 units into 2 divided by 4. So here we'll get it as 405. 405 hours. 405 hours is the answer. Standard time for is 405, and similarly if you apply this for 3 workers, see similarly for 4 units in the semi-skilled used 3 workers, for 810 units how much, like how much time, like uh, how many number of units to be produced. So then 810 again same, you'll get it. So coming to revised standard time, revised standard time. No, actually, yeah. Let me complete this. This is a standard data for skilled labor and semi-skilled labor for 4 units, and for 4 units the standard labor used here, I think 4 workers used, and for 810 units how much, 810 into 4 divided by 4. So we'll get it. Let me calculate this here. 810 into 4 divided by 4. So we are getting 810. Similarly, for unskilled also 4 labor used. So the answer is 810. Same. So coming to revised standard time, RST, revised standard time. So where the actual time worked, we know that the actual time worked is here. The total number of hours just now we calculated 1880, right? And the standard workers used, like the standard data according to the skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled given in the standard information, 2 workers, 4 workers, again 4 workers in unskilled. And if you do it ratio, 2 ones are, 2 twos are, and 2 twos are. So in this ratio, according to this ratio, we need to allocate the hours. So let us allocate this 1880 hours into 1 divided by 5. So 1880 divided by 5 are getting 376. 376. So this value we have to write here, 376 hours. And similarly 1880 into 2 by 5, same answer will get it here, 752 is the answer. Same value we should write here. And finally we'll get the total value is similar, because this is for 1088 hours, and here standard time is 2025 hours, right? So now we have got the data. Now we'll calculate the labor cost variance and different components now. So according to the formula, labor cost variance is equal to standard time into standard rate minus the actual time minus the actual hour, actual rate. For 3 types of workers we need to do that here. And first one you can call as skilled labor, skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. So according to the data, the standard time clearly given as 405. Just now we calculated the 405 into the standard rate is given in the sum. The standard rate is 20. So substituting those values only, minus the actual time. The actual time is 400 and the actual, this is multiplying, the actual rate is 20. And similarly we do rest of the items. 810 hours into 12 minus 600 into 14. For unskilled also 810 hours into 8 minus 1000 hours into 10. So whatever the value is given are substituted as it is, and if we are using calculator and we are getting the value of 100 in positive favor and 1320 is in favor, positive value, and similarly this value we are getting in negative, 3520 in adverse. Finally, for the total, because for a production unit, even though 3 categories of labor we have calculated separately the LCV, but we need to total it. The total LCV is here After that we are getting the value of 2100 in adverse, negative. Now coming to LRV. Now this is LRV, this is LEV. LRV means labor rate variance, LEV means labor efficiency variance. Similarly, skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, unskilled labor. So, what is the formula we use it for labor rate to calculate the labor rate variance? The actual time is multiplied with the rate. We should take rate, standard rate to find out the variance. Standard rate minus actual rate. Actual rate. So, for a skilled labor, the actual time, according to this actual time is 400, 600, 1000. 400, 600, 1000. Then the same data, standard rate, the standard rate 20 and actual rate also 20. Hence the result is 0, take nil. Similarly, for semi-skilled labor, the actual standard rate is 12 and actual rate is 14. We are getting the negative value, so we should call as adverse, A for adverse. Similarly, 8 minus 10, here also we are getting negative value as 2000 in adverse. Then the total of LRV, the total LRV for the 3200 in adverse. So coming to LEV, labor efficiency variance. So same skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, unskilled labor. So the formula we use it here, standard rate into standard time minus actual time. Efficiency means a labor involvement in the production activities. So how much variation is there? To find out that the variance, we use standard time minus actual time. For a skilled labor, the standard rates, according to the table, the standard rates are 20, 12, 8. 20, 12, 8. So it is multiplied with the standard time. The standard time 405. The standard time is 405. And the actual time is 400. So the result is 5 positive and the answer is 100. We are getting positive value, we should write F. Favorable. So coming to the semi skilled labor, 810 minus 600, we are getting the value of positive value we are getting as 2520 in favor, and unskilled labor 810 minus 1000. Here we are getting a negative value because 810 minus 1000 means negative value of 1520 in adverse. Let us check once. 810 minus 1000 into 8, 1520 in minus. So finally the total value, the total LEV, labor efficiency variance, and we will get positive value only, that is of 1100 favor. So there is a verification you need to do here. The verification can be done. LCV is equal to LRV plus LEV. So the LCV answer is 2100 in adverse, 2100 in adverse, and the LRV value is 3200 in adverse, and LEV 1100 in positive or favor. So the negative value is more than the positive value, 3200 minus 1100. The result is 2100, hence it is verified. Then the next component under the LEV, labor efficiency variance. So labor efficiency variance, just now we calculated. Under that we need to calculate three categories of components: ideal time or ideal time variance, and we need to calculate labor mix variance, and we need to calculate labor yield variance and labor mix variance. First we will calculate ideal time labor variance. So labor ideal time variance, labor ideal time variance. So the formula we use it to calculate the labor ideal time variance is even. The shortcut is here, the labor yield variance and the labor mix variance. So in three components, the common point is standard rate. Here also common point is standard rate. Here also common point is standard rate. So to calculate the labor ideal time variance, we use standard rate is into multiplied with the actual time given sum, and we calculated actual time worked. Actual time minus actual time worked. Similarly, labor yield variance, standard rate into standard rate minus revised standard time, RST. Then coming to LMV, labor mix variance, standard rate is multiplied with standard time minus revised standard time. So similarly, first we use skilled labor. This is semi. This is unskilled. We have to calculate the three items. So the standard rate is 20, 12, 8, which is common, is multiplied with the actual time 400 minus actual time worked. This is 400. Actual time worked for skilled 376. 376. And we are getting a 400 minus 376. So the actual time 400, the actual time worked 376. So now the answer is here 480. We got the positive value, favor. Let us check in the calculator. 400 minus 376 is multiplied with 20 and we are getting 480, positive value 480. Similarly, for semi-skilled also, the actual time is 600 and the actual time worked is 564. Again we are getting a positive value of 432. This is also in favor. This is also in favor. And next one, the total actual time is 1000 minus actual time worked 940. 60 we are getting a positive value of 480. The total result, labor idle time variance is equal to 2, 9, 13. So 1392 is in favor. And similarly, we calculate the labor yield variance for skilled. For skilled labor, the standard rate is same. This is semi, this is unskilled. Standard rate is common, 20 into 12 into 8 into. So SR, same. This is actually a standard time. This is standard time. Is standard time minus RST, revised standard time, whereas in the LMV also standard rate into revised standard time RST minus actual time worked. So first we do labor yield variance. The standard rates are we have given in the standard time ST, the standard time according to table 405, 810 and 810. 405 minus revised standard time RST according to the table 376 and we are getting a positive value of 580 in favor. Similarly, the 810 is the standard time minus the even RST revised standard time was 752 and we are getting again a positive value of 696 favor. Coming to the same values appear here, 810 minus 752. If you look at that, 810 and 810 for standard time showing here. And the answer here we are getting is 464, which is also in positive favor. Then the total value, this is total like labor yield variance value is 1740 in favor. We got positive value. So coming to last one is labor yield variance for skilled labor and for semi-skilled, for unskilled. Anyhow, the standard rate is common, 20 into 12 into 8 into. So revised standard time here, revised standard time 376. Look at that, revised standard time 376 and actual time worked also 376. ATW, actual time worked also 376. And the result is nil, 0, because 376 minus 376 0. Anything is if you are multiplying with 20 into 0, you are getting 0 nil. And here 752 minus 564 and we are getting a positive value of 2256 of favorable value, and here 752 minus 940 actual time worked. If you look at that, unskilled actual time worked 940. Here we are getting a negative value. The result is 1504, which is in adverse. So finally, the total labor mix variance 752 in favor, because the positive value is more than the negative value. Here we can simultaneously verify the labor efficiency variance is equal to labor idle time variance plus labor yield variance plus labor mix variance. This is a verification. So according to the sum, labor efficiency variance is 1100 in positive, then the total value is 1392 adverse plus 1740 favorable plus 752 in favor. 1740 plus 752 minus 1392. Hence it is proved. In the next class, we are going to discuss overhead cost variance. Thank you.